Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to my freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, and freedom fighters. Salute to Supreme Being. Let me think about that. You know what I'm saying? Let me think about it. I will put some thought into it. You've been around for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? This guy, liberals don't believe in freedom, he says. And he wonders why no likes. Well, okay. I guess I'm a liberal now. You're clearly new to the channel, which is okay. Speaking of that, he's right, y'all. Why don't I have any likes? Make sure y'all hit the like button when y'all come in here. He's made a great point. Is it because I'm a liberal? A lying liberal? We'll see about that. Chicago is a fucking sot hole thanks to Democrat retards. I love this shit. I love it. I love it. I guess I'm a liberal today, y'all. Alrighty then, right? Guess I'm a liberal because I'm talking about Donald Trump and the Epstein Files. Yes, double tap the screen, says William McCauley. Yes, let's do that. Guess I'm a liberal, a libtard, a retard liberal, right? Straight out the gate. Straight out the gate. But we're going to get into it. We're going to see if I'm lying or not. Did I know there were two Jeffrey Epsteins? There's probably more than two Jeffrey Epsteins in the world. There's probably more than two. Jeffrey is a pretty common name, and so is Epstein. So there's probably more than two Epsteins in the world. Yeah. Salute to Black Spring with Autumn. Salute to the beautiful queen. Y'all go check her out. Oh, yes, wait, Black Spring, but I'm lying, I guess. But we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you where I got that information. I didn't say these things. What did I put in the title? If you look at it. Salute to Universal Truth. This is what a Congresswoman is saying. I'm just telling you what the Congresswoman said. But apparently, I'm just telling you what she said. I didn't say these things. I didn't look at the Jeffrey Epstein files. She has, and according to her, well, you're going to hear what she says out of her own mouth. You know what I mean? I have no reason. These are not my words. These aren't my words. But of course, the first thing people want to do is come in here and say this. You're the one pushing Trump and Epstein bullshit. What we're going to see about that. Is it me? Is it me? Am I saying these things? Let's see. Lula John says education secretary was involved in sex trafficking ring. I believe it. I believe it. I believe, these people, they do a lot of things for and with each other, including commit nasty atrocities, right? That's what these people do. The part of the elite class. It is what it is. And salute to the brother Stormy B Man. Y'all go check out his hat, Stormy B Man, if he pops up. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to take you right into it, okay? Because I have no reason to lie, right? I have no reason to lie. I really don't. This is not me saying these things. And you guys, I don't play that left-right versus right bullshit. Y'all know, if you've been here for a while, that I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm not any of that. Make sure I hit the like button, though. I don't know why y'all haven't hit the like button. Trifling. You know what I'm saying? Just trifling as hell. But, it is what it is. But I'm just going to show you guys this. Hit the like button. There seems to be a delay. I'm watching it from, I'm watching this from my phone. Anyway, let me show you what we got going. Now, this is a congresswoman who's talking about, her name is Melanie Stanberry. Representative Melanie Stanberry this weekend shares her personal knowledge from serving on the Oversight Committee into Donald Trump in the Epstein Files, confirming what many of us already know. Donald Trump not only was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, he knew exactly what was going on, which was my position, right? Which was my position. Yeah, I'm a dumbass ninja. Okay, sure. LOL, change it. No, I won't. I've already changed the smoke detector. Don't worry about my smoke detectors. Yeah, don't worry about that. Anyway, worry about this.
That were released over.
Let me see.
For the weekend was actively recruited from Mar-a-Lago. And what Jeffrey Epstein is saying in that email is that Donald Trump has embarked and he knew the Ghislaine.
Can you guys hear? Let me know you guys hear. Bullshit. And we jab several others that say the complete opposite. All right, where are those at? Where are those people at?
Maxwell was going to Mar-a-Lago to recruit 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds who were then taken to Jeffrey Epstein's mansion where they were raped, groomed, and turned into, essentially, I don't even want to use the language. They were abused for years. Mm-hmm. And so Donald Trump not only was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, he knew exactly what was going on. And Mar-a-Lago, his own property, is where children were being taken from which they were trafficked and raped.
What?
And I'm going to be honest with you guys.
We're going to go through that again. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Where's my moderators at? Can you hear me, moderators? Yeah, we got people in here big mad. I don't know why y'all still, you Trump supporters, you MAGA people, I don't know why you guys still support this dude. Not even just for this, but for how he's running this country. How he's supposedly running this country. Got y'all as poor as you ever been. You're spending more money you ever did on groceries, right? We spent more money than we ever did under Biden, right? And what did we think when he became president? Oh, the prices are going to go down or the inflation is going to stop. No, they continue to go up. He continues to spend hard-earned tax cattle money on bullshit, just like he did in his first term, right? Enriching the pharmaceutical companies, enriching his buddies. And then Biden comes through, does the same shit, enriches Israel, enriches this corporation, that corporation. And then, what did Joe Biden do? What was his crowning moment? Leaving Afghanistan with $86 billion worth of military equipment, an airstrip that we spent years building. And then Donald Trump comes in and spends more money on bullshit. This just continues. Y'all think it's a left versus right thing? No. They're going to continue to do what they want to do with our money. And we're going to have guys in here defending this nonsense, right? With this shit. Epstein was banned from Mar-a-Lago. Why was he banned from Mar-a-Lago? Was it because what did they start beefing for? Why did they start beefing? At least you wasn't. It's crazy work. Because if Megyn Kelly has to come out and say 15 years old is barely legal, which is not. We know what's coming down the pike, right? Megyn Kelly is preparing us for what's to come, not just for Donald Trump, but for other elite class individuals that may end up getting named. They'll give us a superficial list that we can feel like we're happy about. So, I mean, listen, Megyn Kelly is softening you guys up for what Nambla has been trying to do for 30 or 40 years. Y'all know who Nambla is? There's a woman out there, a psychiatrist, who's trying to normalize pedophilia. So by the time these files come out, it's supposed to be 30 days after Trump signed the bill, you're probably not going to see very much coming out of that. Oh, Dems did better? No, they didn't. Dems just continued to, you guys are crazy. Guilty how? Where's the evidence? Who said anything about guilty? What do you mean guilty how? Did I say that anybody was guilty? Well, there were several victims that said that Donald Trump, there are several women that said Donald Trump did things to them, including some, I forgot her name, Katie something. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Prices don't go up. The dollar uses, well, yeah, obviously. But what our money, the currency that we have, if the value is going down, right? And the value of the things that we're trying to buy is going up, it doesn't make a difference. If the value of the dollar is going down, it's the same as the prices of the items we want to buy going up. It's just it doesn't make a difference. We're losing, the dollar's losing value because we have diluted the money supply. We diluted the money supply, trying to, with government spending, point blank period. Government spending that we're going to end up having to foot the bill for. Yes, you dilute the money supply. The things that we want and the services that we need are going to be more valuable than our dollar. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is government interference and government activity leads inevitably to these problems. Same snake, different head. Exactly. I'm glad we're realizing that. William McCauley says, when operations like Jeffrey Epstein want a new head or leaders of the operation, they neutralize the current one. Now who's running it? And why are they not talking about the new head? Well, how long did it take for us to know who Jeffrey Epstein was? It took decades. Jeffrey Epstein was operating for decades before we knew who he was. No, grocery prices, where at? What are we talking about? I haven't seen prices go down. Who agrees with bare freedom? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen grocery prices going down. But let's continue to play this.
Really went through the files this weekend in depth. Donald Trump is not only named over and over in them, it is discussed this trial in which he was accused of raping a 13-year-old at Epstein's house.
Accused of raping a 13-year-old in Epstein's house. But someone just told me that Trump wasn't accused of anything. This is a woman with intimate knowledge of what's in those files. Supposedly, right? Because she's on the oversight committee. So she has knowledge of what's in those files. But yet, of course, we're going to run with Trump was never accused of anything. Right? No. Okay. I read that. Let's see. No, don't worry about my smoke alarm. If you don't like it, go on somewhere else. If you don't like the fire alarm, because I've changed the batteries all over the house. It is what it is. If you don't like it, go on somewhere else. I'm wasting my time, then why are you here? You wasting your time. Actually, let me help you out. I don't want to waste your time ever again. There. If I'm wasting your time and you say I'm wasting my time, then you obviously don't need to be here. Yes, coffee and beef are ridiculously high. Yeah, the ultimate pyramid scheme. Yes, I agree with this. Barely legal is 18 years old in one day. And it's really based on the individual, right? It's based on the individual child who turns 18. Are they really grown? Are they really adults? Do they have any experience in life? No. But this is what this woman says, not me.
There is extensive discussions about a subpoena of Donald Trump in one of Jeffrey Epstein's cases in which he was accused for rape and sexual abuse. He was subpoenaed and gave a deposition in that case. There is extensive discussion between Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Mr. Wolf about not only Trump coming to his house, but Epstein says in these emails that he has photographs of Trump with girls. And I really want to emphasize this. People know this email that came forward last week where Trump says to Ghislaine Maxwell, Trump is the only dog that hasn't barked. And when you look at the emails, what he's talking about is the fact that one of the accusers, one of the survivors who went to the police and gave sworn statements, and it's in those records that were released over the weekend, was actively recruited from Mar-a-Lago. And what Jeffrey Epstein is saying in that email is that Donald Trump hasn't barked, and he knew that Ghislaine Maxwell was going to Mar-a-Lago to recruit 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, who were then taken to Jeffrey Epstein's mansion where they were raped, groomed, and turned into, essentially, I don't even want to use the language. They were abused for years.
Now, am I saying these things, or is this Congresswoman who is serving on the oversight committee into Donald Trump and Epstein Files? Is she saying that? Am I saying that? When did 60 eggs for $9? You are lying. Oh, somebody said they got 60 eggs for $9? It depends on where you get it from. You could probably get it from a local farmer. You probably get it from someone who owns chickens. That's because that's what I do. I mean, it depends on what you're getting. If you have access to a rancher or a farmer who really, there really is no let me tell y'all something. There really is no justifying raising the prices of certain things, right? If you are a regenerative farmer or regenerative rancher, you can find those people, right, and save some money. But if you go to a regular grocery store, then this is what you're going to do. No, he was never charged. The girl was being used by a Jerry Springer producer to scam money from the media. The journalists are the ones that debunked her. Who are you referring to? Now we got the Epstein Files. This is what everybody wanted, right? This is what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted the Epstein Files. We wanted to know who was in them, what it would entail, who would become, who would be exposed. Someone says Walmart stupid. Okay. Walmart stupid. Okay. That's where you got the eggs. Willie got eggs. So I suppose Trump had time of his life. Imagine. I won't imagine. I won't imagine that. Cynthia says, I grew up in foster care system and these girls could walk around with BD attitude if the sugar daddies that bought them cars. What are you talking about? See this? You see this? I grew up in foster care system and these girls, mind you, she acknowledges that they're girls. A girl is a child. Would walk around with BD attitude if they had sugar. I'm assuming she meant if they had sugar daddies that bought them cars and expensive clothes. They didn't get abused. See this right here? This is the problem. This Cynthia character, who claims to have grown up in the foster care system, is telling us if a grooming ass sugar daddy, a man who grooms children to kind of accept this behavior, it's called grooming, right? This is what they're doing. That is a form of abuse. You're talking about foster care girls who are teenagers, who really don't know how to make certain life decisions at that age, right? They can be manipulated. They're impressionable. But you don't think that's abuse because they're being bought they're being paid, right? They're getting money, they're getting cars and all these things, expensive gifts. So therefore, they're not being abused. This is that, man. This is the thing that they're trying to instill in society. They're trying to groom society to accept this. According to Bradley J. Edwards, a prominent attorney who has represented several Epstein victims, Donald Trump was never involved in any trafficking or wrongdoing when it came to Epstein. Okay, now I want you guys to pay attention to this. This is what Bear Freedom says, who has represented several Epstein victims. Several. Not all, but several. So those several that this lawyer represented said that Trump was never involved in any trafficking, right? Because apparently several victims represents all the victims in his mind and in the lawyer's mind. Because Donald Trump, if Donald Trump wasn't known to be an abuser by the entire victim pool of 1,000, right? Because apparently there were about 1,000 young girls that were victimized. If Donald Trump wasn't known to the entire 1,000 of them to have participated, then he never participated, right? Is that what we're to believe? Let me answer me that question. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Several victims said Donald Trump wasn't involved, therefore he wasn't involved, right? Even though there are 1,000, at least 1,000 victims. Is that what we're doing today? Is that what we're to believe? Help me understand it. What was it? Slim Hussein in the building. Salute to you. He said plenty of access to women. I mean, yeah. Okay, but is that lawyer actually talking to victims that were trafficked by Trump? Because according to the victims, they have, yeah. I mean, listen, this thing is big. All right. Don't worry about the smoke alarm, Salad. Don't worry about that. If you don't like it, go on somewhere. Don't worry about the smoke alarm. Agreed. That's why she doesn't think it's abuse, because they're normalized these behaviors. Cynthia needs help as well. Exactly. No, she needs to be. Hopefully she doesn't have children. Trump is innocent. Okay. Yeah, he's innocent until proven guilty. I agree. Trump did the same thing in Florida. Okay. Now, I agree. Trump is innocent until proven guilty. You're absolutely right.
And so Donald Trump not only was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, he knew exactly what was going on. And Mar-a-Lago, his own property, is where children were being taken from which they were trafficked and raped.
That's what she says. This is a woman who has access to the Epstein Files, looked at Epstein Files. Look through emails, look through this, look through that. So this is what we wanted, right? Now it comes down to, because see, this woman is a government, she's a government official. She works for the government. She is a government official. Think about that. Right? So we should we believe her? I don't know. I don't know if we should believe her or not. But they have the Epstein Files. You know, there are people that believe that the Epstein Files were destroyed or whatever the case may be. They might be or they might not be. The bottom line is they need to release everything they have. She should worry about slander with that TDS. How is it slander? She's telling you what she saw in the files. How is it slander? No, I don't believe Trump at all, because Trump is a known liar. Now, we have to see the files to know if she's lying or not, right? We have to see them. And guess who is responsible for releasing those files? Pam Bondi. So when Pam Bondi releases the files, if she releases them, and if she doesn't heavily redact them and render them useless, We'll find out if she's lying or not. But Donald Trump is a known liar. Donald Trump is known to be full of shit. It is what it is. The files were a giant backfire on the left. The only thing that they have revealed so far is that gave 90% of the donation to the Democrats, and he hated Donald Trump. Yeah, well, people, sure, he might have hated Donald Trump, and Donald Trump might have hated him. Well, they were friends for quite a while. What happened for them to hate each other? A real estate deal? Jeffrey Epstein bought some shit bought some property that Donald Trump was looking at. I mean, this is what these elite class motherfuckers, they fight over first world problems like that. And they don't really hate each other. They don't really hate, they have to deal with each other because they have things on each other. It's irrelevant, really, whether Jeffrey Epstein hated or liked Donald Trump and vice versa. Democrats own blacks. You think I'm a Democrat? Gotcha. Well, if you're a Republican, then you're owned by the Republicans. Yeah. If you consider yourself to be a conservative and you are a Republican voter, then you're essentially owned by the Republicans. If I'm owned by the Democrats, if I were a Democrat, I'm not, but it is what it is. I'm no Democrat. But you guys believe what you want because I'm talking about Trump. So if I'm criticizing and shedding light on what was said about Trump, then obviously I have to be a Democrat, right? Wildest shit. I mean, you guys really don't think, do you? If I'm owned by the Democrats, then you're owned by the Republicans. It is what it is. Okay, so everybody is saying that Donald Trump is innocent and all this stuff didn't happen. But who's listening to the victims, the people that were actually touched and raped and molested? But no one's really listening. They don't really care. Democrats do 7 years of prison at Trump, 92 indictments, including turning on expired misdemeanor to 34 felonies. Yeah. Right. They had the files. You have to understand, Donald Trump would not be the only person in those files. It wouldn't just be a Democrat. It wouldn't just be Republicans. It'll be the people that participated in the disgusting behavior that Jeffrey Epstein provided are Democrat and it doesn't matter, right? They're elite class. That's the real problem here. You guys are focused on, was it a Democrat or Republican? No. That's irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, behind closed doors, when these people, they come together and they laugh at you. And they further discuss how they're going to screw the American people to benefit themselves. This is what these people do. And obviously it works because, if this were Joe Biden I was talking about, you guys would not be making these statements. Bill Clinton is worried. He should be. So should Prince Andrew, Alan Dershowitz. Yep. Smoke detectors chirping. So what? If you guys are bothered by the smoke detector, you don't have to be here. It's all good. Which is all politicians? Yes. It's all of them. Right? Salad slaps. I'm telling you what you can do if the beep is bothering you. No, your comments don't bother me. I'm just pointing out the ridiculousness of even making that statement. You don't think I hear the beep? It is what it is. You guys don't like it. It is what it is. I don't care. Does it look like I'm melting down, guys? See, this is what they do. I'm melting down. Where do you see a meltdown? Am I yelling? Am I cussing? How's it ridiculous when it could save your life? I have multiple smoke detectors. And you don't, again, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So you guys can go ahead and be bothered by it. Let me see. But, you know, no, I don't care. How about that? Nothing is melting except Christy Known face. Yep. Okay, this is not what we're going to do. This ain't what we're going to do. Don't tell me what the fuck and not the fuck to talk about. There you go. Salutations. You ain't ever got to come back. There you go. I took my smoke detector down and gave it to the maintenance guy and told him it wouldn't shut up and told me he would have to get a new one. Yeah. It happens. Smoke detectors beep. So what? Salute to PGH Big Dog in the building. Salute to you, brother. Okay. We're not going to spam about a smoke detector. That's not what we're going to do. There. Yeah. Happy Wednesday to you as well. So let's talk. Let's see what Megyn Kelly has to say. Salute to you, Tanya D. Salute to you. Salute to the Queen Mother, Shaquila, in the building. Salute to my Queen Mother. Thank you for coming through. What does Megyn Kelly have to say? Right? Let's hear her lie, because that's what she's going to do. It's crazy to me how it's how they lie. It's crazy. Right?
A single woman who has said, yes.
Why is it?
I was trafficked by Epstein to Trump. There's one who says Trump walked into a house with Epstein and allegedly fondled her. There is not a single woman who has said, yes, I was trafficked by Epstein to Trump. There's one who says Trump walked into a house with Epstein and allegedly fondled her.
Do you see how she just lied? She just lied within the space of 3 seconds. She said there's not one woman who said that she was trafficked from Epstein to Trump. And then she said, then she says there's one girl who said that Trump fondled her in Jeffrey Epstein's house. You what are you talking? You just said no one accused him. And then you just said that someone accused him. What are we talking about? This is, and then it like, okay, let's just dismiss it because it was just one 13-year-old girl. That's all. I mean, this shit is wild. Right? You know, I would advise Megyn Kelly to shut the fuck up. If I were like her spokesperson or PR person, Megyn Kelly is defending Peds and nasty work. Yes, she's been doing that. I showed you guys last week where she's saying 15 years old is barely legal. And that Jeffrey Epstein, according to some friend she got, is not really a PDF file and that she believes it. This is crazy. The far left needs to tell the full truth and when the last time they saw each other and who else saw him, but instead they only go to after one side. Both sides go after one side. That's what they do. So if it were Biden and the Democrats were doing this, it would be the same shit. Of course, they would not focus on Trump. They would focus on Bill Clinton or some other Democrat. The bottom line is we need to see all the files and everything needs to be released. I don't care if it's left or right. Y'all are focused on that. I'm just telling you what this Congresswoman said about Trump and how Megyn Kelly is trying to run cover for Donald Trump. Right? But you guys are focused on, oh, well, Donald Trump is a conservative president. Why do you guys say the left when the right is the one fighting to get the truth out? And I'm confused as hell because if you guys want to see the truth, and it's the Republicans, they are saying no. This is the game. This is the game, right? We're focused on left, right. Who did Jeffrey Epstein traffic children to? Oh, he trafficked them to the left. He tried to traffic them to the right. No, he trafficked them to. He didn't give a fuck if they were left or right. If they had these proclivities, then he would just he would traffic those children to anybody who had the proclivity to abuse children. It didn't matter. Y'all think it mattered? You think Jeffrey Epstein just chose people on the right to traffic girls to, or on the left? No, that's not how that works. It's like lobbying, right? Lobbyists and special interest groups don't target one side over the other. They'll go after both sides because it'll give them the best chance of getting what they want. Far left call everyone fascist that they disagree with. Okay. Megyn Kelly, the female woman, said is the difference. It is a difference if it is a 15-year-old girl being raped in a, this is the crazy wild work. They're trying to normalize this nasty behavior, right?
Upon meeting her. Okay, that's the best they have so far.
The best,
and they're waiting for some sort of smoke.
The best they have is a 13-year-old girl who said Donald Trump groped her in Jeffrey Epstein. That's the best they have. I mean, that would be enough, right? If they were able to. So if someone was able to prove that a man, a grown-ass man, sexually accused a 13-year-old girl, and it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, would you need more than that? How much more would you need?
There is not a single woman who has said, yes, I was trafficked by Epstein to Trump. There's one who says Trump walked into a house with Epstein and allegedly fondled her upon meeting her. Okay.
That's all they got. Well, if they were able to prove that beyond the shadow of a doubt in a truly just society, you prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that would be all you would need to tie that motherfucker to a tree in the middle of town square and have every grown man do what they got to do. Why? What else do you need? How many children, how many 13-year-olds does he need to fondle? Help me understand this. That's the best they got. Okay, sure. Democrats created the KKK. Okay. And then the Democrats converted to Republicans. They switched parties. I mean, it doesn't even matter. So somebody took the time and resources to murder Epstein in jail. But somehow there's these mystery files that will incriminate everybody. No, not everybody. Just everybody involved. See, that's the key distinction. And that's really what we need to focus on, right? This fool lies. What did I lie about? Daniel, tell me what I lied about. Did I make any assertions or accusations? Or am I just playing you what? Am I just telling you what this woman said?
To be honest with you guys, I actually went through the files this weekend in depth. Donald Trump is not only named over and over in them, it is discussed this trial in which he was accused of raping a 13-year-old at Epstein's house. There is extensive discussions about a subpoena of Donald Trump in one of Jeffrey Epstein's cases in which he was accused for rape and sexual abuse. He was subpoenaed and gave a deposition in that case. There is extensive discussion between Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Mr. Wolf about not only Trump coming to his house, but Epstein says in these emails that he has photographs of Trump with girls. And I really want to emphasize this.
Now, that's what she said. That's not what I said. That's what she said. Trump supporters are the type to bring condoms to a family. Wild work. No facts here. Okay. The fact I'm presenting you is what I put in the title, is that a congresswoman saw the files and said that Donald Trump did the unthinkable. That is a fact. That is what she said. You guys don't understand what facts are or what facts mean. Okay. Yes, probably. It's in the diary, right? Yeah. Okay. So then he should be brought to justice as well, right? See, you guys understand. What was Joe Biden charged and convicted with doing that to his daughter? Was it proven beyond a shadow of a doubt? No, it was not. So, but you guys are very comfortable with saying this. You guys are comfortable saying this about Joe Biden, who never brought to trial and was never convicted, never had due process. It was never, he's guilty until proven innocent, right? But when it comes to Donald Trump being accused, oh, it's a lie. See, you guys pick and choose. I'm exposing your own cognitive dissonance. When was this proven? It was in a diary, right? Wasn't it in Ashley's diary that he did these things? I'm not saying he didn't. But just like he was accused and never was brought to justice, was able to be president, and is now able to have a security detail protect him for the rest of his life on the taxpayer dime, he'll never be brought to justice. Just like Trump will likely never be brought to justice, right? Because half the world don't care because it's Donald Trump, and half the world don't care because it was Jeffrey Epstein. Because it was Joe Biden, the other half. And this is why we stay stuck on stupid, right? So let me know, Daniel Faith, when did Joe Biden go to trial and can get convicted of this? Why would rich and powerful people put their name on some list? Well, they didn't, right? It was Jeffrey Epstein who put their names on the list. It was Jeffrey Epstein who sent emails back and forth about him. It was Jeffrey Epstein who kept records. That's who, not the rich and powerful didn't do that. The rich didn't go, oh, Jeffrey, let me write my name down. No, Jeffrey did these things. What was it? MAGA is a cult of ignorance and hate, and so is the liberal cult. They're both. They both have this. Yes, both sides are a cult. Just because somebody is left of Hitler doesn't make them left. Okay. Fact. In 1854, the Democrats blocked the Republicans from abolishing slavery in the House. I know. What's the point? Why are we talking about slavery? Oh, because I'm black? Okay, I get it. I'm black, so you got to bring up slavery to try to attack a straw man. Why not?
That's the best they have so far. And
the best they have is a 13-year-old girl who said Donald Trump founded her in Jeffrey Epstein house. That's the best they got.
Waiting for some sort of smoking gun in these materials. So I think Trump did his 180 because he had to. He knew he was going to lose it.
You think Donald Trump did this 180 because he had to? So now you're admitting that Donald Trump only agreed to do this because he knew that people would look at him weird if he. This is crazy, right? This woman she can't even keep. It's wild how she talks, right? She really needs a PR person to tell her what the fuck and what not to say. But no, I really don't. I want her to keep saying shit like this. You say Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump, no woman ever accused him, and then you say right after that one person accused him. No, it was like 4 people accused Donald Trump. Four women. They was wearing Biden hats when he was in office. Y'all only care about who's the face in the White House at the time. Exactly. Y'all don't really want justice. Why do y'all want to run this country? Who's y'all? I don't want to run shit. I just want to run my business. I want to mind my business. And I want y'all to stay the fuck out of my business. I don't want to run shit. Yeah, y'all got me fucked up. Oh. Why would they take the time to kill Jeffrey Epstein but not get this so-called list or files? It's like change. I don't know, man. It is what it is. Yeah, why can't they? Why can't communities run their communities, because Big Daddy government has to step in and take control. Brandon John says Trump has more pictures with Epstein than anyone, and somehow he is not in Epstein files. We're supposed to find out, right? See, it's not just Trump, though. This is not just about Trump. This is about everybody involved. They want to try to convince you that less and less people are involved than actually were. They don't want you to know exactly who's involved. They're going to play these games. Queen's sister convos with Cam in the building. Salute to you, Queen. The beautiful Queen sister Cameron, who's only my sister because she's married. It is what it is. She wasn't married, she wouldn't be my sister. Just playing. Anyway, salute to the beautiful Cam. Make sure you drop your link in there. If you guys have a channel, make sure you drop your link to my moderators. Y'all need to go check out Convos with Cam. She is a mental health professional, and she is great at what she does, and she has great content on her channel. If you have mental health issues, like some of you here in the chat, you might want to go check her out, because she can put you through some exercises to kind of woosah you and bring balance to your imbalance. You understand what I'm talking about? Oh, she think I'm playing. If she wasn't married, she'd be another Wi-Fi wife. Just saying. Slim Hussein says Biden gave millions to Ukraine, Trump giving millions to Israel. Well, you got to understand, Biden gave millions to Israel, and Trump gave millions to Ukraine as well. They're going to continue to do that. Yes, it's going to continue. What's wrong with Megyn? She's a Trumper. I mean, listen, she is a propagandist at the end of the day, right? She is here to sow seeds. And right now, what she's focused on is diminishing and minimizing the damage caused to these young girls. She's trying to minimize that. She's trying to normalize, right? Oh, what is all these damn calls? She's trying to minimize it. She's trying to normalize the behavior. She said 15 years old is barely legal. It's not legal in any state. I mean, even if it was, that's an atrocity. It needs to change, right? Yes. What's wrong with this? Oh, salute to Ela D10. She's crazy. Yeah. The uneducated and illiterate always side with the Democratic Party. Who's siding with the Democratic? I appreciate you too, Cam. I don't know where that came from. But, I speak my mind. It is what it is. Salute to the Queen, Sister Cameron. Slim Hussein says, y'all telling me there's no pictures or videos of Trump, Epstein together? Oh, there is. They'll be heavily redacted. They'll be heavily redacted. Salute to Latressa Megyn in the building. Montgomery. Salute to Latressa Montgomery. It is sick. This is about nasty, dirty, old, rich rulers, void of color. If this situation involved nasty, dirty men of color, this situation would be played out. I agree, right? But it's not. It won't be just. Trust me, it's not just those. There probably will be people of color in those files, and as a matter of fact, if they release the files, they might ensure that there are a lot of people of color named. Because trust me, there are people of color that are part of the elite class in the big club that you will never be in. Right? Because they have gone through the steps. They have sold their soul. They have sold out. And this is what it is. Should have released them under Biden. I agree. And guess what? I talked about that in a live stream last week or the week before. I talked about that. During the Biden administration, they could have released them, even though they told you, Ghislaine Maxwell was investigated and they couldn't release. No. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in the first year of Biden's term. The first year. They had 3 whole years after that. Yes, that part. Eric Young's, talking to somebody. All of Epstein's victims from all the released transcripts over the years, all day. They never saw Trump do anything wrong. All the Epstein's victims, Name 10 of them. Name 10 of Epstein's victims, because apparently there are like 1,000, according to Massey, according to, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene and a couple of other Congress people, like 1,000. Name 10 of these victims. Name 10 of them. Name 10 of them. Hold on, I got to check on that. Sorry. Name 10 of the victims. Mary Jane, what's not true? Exactly. Like Slim Hussein asked. Both administrations will release the files. But this is something that, that's really the important part, right? So let's see what else she says.
There is not a single woman who has said, yes, I was trafficked by Epstein to Trump. There's one who says Trump walked into a house with Epstein and allegedly fondled.
You see how she's trying to dismiss? First thing she says, not one woman said that Epstein trafficked them to Trump. And then she said, well, there's one girl. There's one girl. You just said there were none. Oh, because he just walked in the house and started fondling the girl. Jeffrey Epstein didn't technically traffic her. Maybe she was in the house, and Donald Trump walked in and got some free shit. I don't know. Pay attention to the language in the framing, right?
Her upon meeting her. Okay, that's the best they have so far.
The best they have. See how they're trying. She's minimizing. This is what we're doing. So many of the victims are skeletons on the shores of Little St. James. Yeah, this is a reality. People are still defending Trump. LOL. If you knew someone who was friends with Epstein, you would never talk to them. But Trump, it's crazy. What's worse than all the PDF files you are talking about is Margaret Sanger and Billy Gates' daddy propagating genocide on American people years ago. Yeah, that's bad too. It's not, one's not worse than the other. They're all bad. Off the shores in the ocean. No, I agree. Megyn Kelly is on your side. To name the victims for your benefit would victimize them all over again. Sure. Why not? Why not? You just said all the victims. You said none of the victims. All of Epstein victims said Donald Trump wasn't involved. That's what you said. But okay, if you want to turn it into this, to name the victims for your benefit would be to victimize them all over again. Just say he don't know their names. Just say he don't know their names. I knew you weren't going to tell me because I know you don't know 10 of their names. In the 20,000 emails that were recently leaked, Trump was mentioned over 1,200 times. They were good friends for over 10 years. People will make any excuse for Trump. It is cult-like. Yes, absolutely, Sarah Jane. Absolutely. Biden could not release the files. Why not, Mary Jane? Why not? What the hell is going on? Hold on, guys. But anyway, why couldn't he release the files? Because they M. Okay. Next time somebody asks me why I can't do something, I'll say, because M. Not if they're willing to be. You guys do know that a lot of these victims have spoken out publicly, and all of them are basically adults now, and they're saying release everything. That's what they're saying. Many of the victims of Epstein are saying just release it all. Don't worry about. That's what they're saying. Yeah, Trump turned Epstein in the 80s. Do you know that people who commit crimes, they turn in their crime partners? They turn them in so that they don't get in trouble. Did you know about that? Did you know? Dershowitz, yeah. Did you know? I'll not know that the FBI, and then you had Dershowitz being PDF Files lawyer. Yeah, Donald Trump turned him in, and Donald Trump. That doesn't mean he was innocent. They weren't still. What were they investigating? I debunked this last week. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in 2021, at the end of 2021. That was the first year of Biden's term. That was the first year of Biden's term. They had 3 years after that. Miss me with the bullshit. And Pam Bondi got many of those files from the Epstein estate, not from Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. Yeah, she sent a subpoena to the estate of Jeffrey Epstein to get a lot of this shit. Not any evidence material from Ghislaine Maxwell. She got it from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. The trial was over in the first year of Biden's term. Democrat and Republicans are in the files. That's why neither side want them public. This is just common sense. Absolutely. Sarah Jane. Scientology. Anyway, y'all, you were all nuts. Sure. Did anybody ever ask the question, what is a 13, 14-year-old doing working in Mar-a-Lago? That's a great question. That is a great question. Is there video evidence? There's plenty of video evidence. They're in the files that we'll probably likely never see. We'll likely never see those things. Yeah. It is what it is. Can they justify why Trump fired Maxwell, DA Comey's daughter? Probably not. Probably not. They won't. They don't need to justify it. Do they justify anything they do? They don't need to justify anything because they know nothing will ever be done about it. Right? Nothing will ever be done. At the end of the day, we'll just sit back. They'll release something after the 30-day window, and then we'll be like, we won't see a lot of things. It'll be heavily redacted. Nothing really will come to light, and then we'll forget about it. They'll distract us with something and we'll forget about it. No, exactly. Son was saying, no, it's not the end all be all. It's crazy. Oh, it's not just someone. A lot of people are comfortable the way it is. Oh, yeah. A lot of people. I think you're wrong about that, sir, but everything. No, I'm not wrong. I showed it. I showed it last week in a live stream. I showed why. Yeah, I talked about why Democrats didn't release the files when Biden was in office. I talked about that. No, I'm not wrong. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial was over at the end of 2021. She got convicted. And I think January, February, she got sentenced in January, February of 2022. That's a fact. I'm not wrong about that. The patch, this is the Stormy B-Man. It says the sensei. Stormy B-Man is a boxing historian, and he's very knowledgeable. He's a YouTuber. Y'all go check him out, Stormy B-Man. And this is just crosswords, right? The sensei. He has multiple channels. He is a kung fu nerd, a kung fu movie enthusiast. So, yep. Salute to you, Mary Jane. Yeah, go check out the live. There's no excuses. Ghislaine Maxwell, that investigation was the investigation. First of all, it started during Trump's administration, and then the trial started in the first year of Joe Biden's term And it ended like 5 months later. It was a 5-month trial. She was convicted in December. I think December 28th or January 28th, something like that. Or not, December 28th of 2021. So there was no investigation. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. I got to get to work. I got a couple things to do. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. And, I'll come through later with something else. Maybe I'll hit you upside the head tomorrow with another paper. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you all for hitting the like button. For those who did, much love. Like, share, subscribe. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.